Gilbert, what are you doing all day in a cave? Oh, I know. You're waiting for the next broadcast of Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater.
Ah, my lords and ladies, geeks, geekerellas, geekulas, and geekeritas. I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater. And I'm sure many of you geeks out there have had some problem from time to time with your siblings. You know, that brother or sister that's just always causing trouble. If you haven't had any problems with your brothers or sisters, then maybe the troublemaking sibling is you. But I'm sure you've never had the problems with your brother or sister that our Dr. Clayton has tonight. You see, Dr. Clayton's brother is not only a Satanist, he is also a vampire. Tonight, from 1943, it's the unusual undead adventure, Dead Men Walk. Dead Men Walk stars the always dependable horror stalwart George Zuko in a dual role as Dr. Lloyd Clayton and his evil brother Elwyn.
Elwyn?
Hey, that's supposed to be Berwyn, not Elwyn, and that's Svengoolie shtick. The man's one of the greats. Trying to get me kicked out of the local horror host union 1313? It's blasphemous. Anyway, my lords and ladies, besides Mr. Zuko, this film also stars a very familiar face in a very familiar type role. But now, my lords and ladies, a pair of brothers locked in a battle to and beyond the death. Here is Dead Men Walk.
Creatures of the light, how can you say with absolute certainty what does or does not dwell within the limitless ocean of the night? Are the dark and shrouded legions of evil not but figments of the imagination, because you and your puny conceit say they cannot exist? Whence came the story, told in frightened whispers down through the ages, of witch and warlock, werewolf and vampire, and all the spawn of hell, born on the sable wings of night to the unholy communion of the witch's Sabbath?
stretched forth his hand and we consign this soul to infinite mercy. If there are any who care to look upon the face of the departed before he is carried to his final resting place, you may do so now.
You defile this sacred house with the body of that evil man, that servant of the devil. His hands are stained with the blood of the innocent, and his unspeakable sorceries.
Please, you can't create a disturbance here. Dr. Clayton, I'm terribly sorry. Poor old Kate hasn't been quite right since the shocking murder of her little granddaughter last year. But I never dreamed...
I understand. Why don't you please go on with the service?
Dust to dust, and may his soul find mercy.
Isn't it all for the best, Uncle Lloyd? After all, he caused you nothing but unhappiness.
He was my brother, yet he always seemed an alien soul, even in childhood. I believe he hated me all his life. After he returned from India, Elwyn was like a man obsessed by a demon. Nothing was sacred to him. He had nothing but contempt for all that decent men hold dear. His mind became a black and evil thing, probing into the perverted knowledge of ancient sorcery and demonology.
Must have been insane.
We're all quick to call insane any mentality that deviates from the conventional. There have been many things in heaven and earth undreamed of in our philosophy. Now, David, you take Gail home. I'm going to Elwyn's house.
Well, you're sure you won't leave me, Dr. Clayton?
Yes, quite sure. Now, run along, dear. I'll be home very soon.
All right, Uncle Lloyd. Come on, David.
Horrible blasphemy.
Search the earth to find those books, and you dare destroy them.
The earth will be a cleaner place without them.
The fools who enforce the law believe his death was an accident. But I know you murdered him. You threw him from the top of the cliff.
I fought only to save my own life. He brought his death upon himself.
You lie. You followed him there to murder him.
You couldn't get anyone to believe that.
What do I care what they believe? You'll pray for death long before you die.
Ah, yes, my lords and ladies, that was everyone's favorite madman, Dwight Fry, as Zolar. The man who created the character of the hunchbacked assistant, which no mad scientist can do without, when he played Fritz in the 1931 Karloff classic, Frankenstein. But of course, he's best known as the screen's most famous thrall under Bela Lugosi's Dracula, when he played Renfield. This, in fact, was one of Dwight Fry's last movies, just released a couple of months before his last appearance in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. He died just a couple of months after. And after this, my lords and ladies, we'll find out if his accusation of murder is true, and whether or not his threats come to fruition.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
From ancient Genesis to the modern screen, the name written in blood, Ega!
If I could just call you on the phone. The code of the ghost at the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
Thrill to the newest recording star, Archibald Jr.
Oh, the screaming this way.
See ravishing Marilyn Manning in a thrilling, chilling story. The last of the prehistoric giants sees his first girl.
Noah. And
Curious newsmen search deep in giant country for the last of the ancient cavemen. See a tough giant tamed by the soft hands of his captive woman. See him sacrifice his ageless beard for her love. Then lose her to a boy in a dune buggy, escaping a burning desert. Ega's primitive passion was love or kill. Hear Ega talk, the ancient language of love, used at the beginning of time. See Ega!
Have you ever been kissed by a woman like this? This is the story of an adventure so fantastic and horrible as to make a man of science doubt his senses. See the dance of destruction as Tarantula entices men to a strange fate. Lost women, lost because they were born without human souls. Children of abominable deviltry and twisted science, unleashed by insanity.
He has human beauty and intelligence, still possesses the capacities and instincts of the giant spider.
Who could have shot him?
Nobody shot him. Look, these are not bullet wounds.
What could have killed him?
I don't know. I hope we won't have to find out.
Aren't you afraid, Grant?
I'm scared stiff.
If you're frightened, what do you call him?
I'm getting out of here. The terror of mortal man, paralyzed with fear, bereft of reason, facing the horror of the giant hexapod.
We now return to Dead Men Walk to see Dr. Clayton continue to burn his brother's books, something which I don't agree with, and a vampire rise from his coffin, which is something I always look forward to.
Darling, you've made me very happy.
No happier than you've made me. And now, don't you think we'd better tell Uncle Lord? After all, he is my guardian.
Of course, although I don't think he'll be very much surprised.
Are you back already? Has the moon lost its appeal?
Why, not at all, sir. Well, that is, what I'm trying to say is that...
Could you possibly be trying to tell me that you and Gail are in love?
That's it, exactly, sir. I hope we have your approval.
Yes, David. I know her happiness will be safe in your hands.
I'll do my best, sir.
I believe you. I can face the future with a lighter heart.
You speak as if you were in danger.
No, not at all, dear. It just makes me feel happy to know that your future's assured, that's all.
Shaitan, Dark Lord of the Abyss, I live. I am not yet strong, but the power has been given me to draw everlasting life from the veins of the living. They will give me the blood from their hearts while I destroy them. Hide my coffin in the boat and guard it. The power is with me only during the hours of darkness. From dawn to dusk, I lie helpless in the grave.
What do you make of her, Dr. Clayton?
I don't know. She was in perfect health a week ago. Now she's dead.
You think it was murder?
I don't know what to say. There's not a wound on the body except the 2 tiny puncture marks in the throat. Yet the appearance of the body would indicate that she bled to death.
I could tell you why she died, but you wouldn't believe me.
Kate, if you go snooping around, I'll have to send you away.
Oh, please, don't do that. I don't mean any harm. You're a good man, Dr. Clayton. Everyone knows the goodness of your heart. But your brother Elwyn brought terrible evil upon us.
He's dead, Kate. And all evil died with him.
But it didn't die. It's growing stronger every day.
That's enough. You'd better leave. I suppose by rights I should send her to an institution.
Oh, that would be needless cruelty. She's perfectly harmless.
I'll take your word for it.
You burned the book that would have given you the information you want.
Elwyn.
Did I startle you? I'm so sorry. But you can't be standing there. You're dead. No, I'm not dead. I have life far beyond anything you can understand. But that doesn't make you any of the less guilty of murder. You took it upon yourself to sit in judgment of me and destroy my mortal span of life. Am I losing my mind? There was no sign of life in Elwyn's body when it was placed in the vault. You'll know that I'm no intangible figment of your imagination when you feel the weight of my hatred. Your life will be a torment. I'll strip you of everything you hold dear. before I drag you down to a sordid death.
Like monsters? Like horror? Like sci-fi? You'll love Maniac Monster Designs. Stickers, enamel pins, patches, magnets, tees, pillows. Maniac Monster Designs for everything retro, spooky, and fun. You'll find Maniac Monster Designs on eBay, Facebook, Instagram, and at maniacmonsters.com. Now you can have cool monster designs anytime, anywhere with Maniac Monster Designs.
Creation of the humanoids. Out of the atomic war came the perfect man, the humanoids, man's own creation. Physically and mentally perfect. Created to serve their masters. Men and women. But could man compete with this creation, the perfect man?
You love that machine?
I love Pax. He's dedicated to keeping me happy. And I am happy.
The robots are machines. They must be made to look like machines.
The perfect man, created by man, becomes man's worst enemy.
Proceed.
The most provocative story ever filmed. The most unusual story ever filmed. You must see it to believe it. The creation of the humanoids. The perfect man.
The day of doom is coming. Your blood will turn white. Your face will turn green. Your eyeballs will pop with pressure. Because our doomsday show is the living end. Forge your strength. Take a shot. You're going to need an awful lot when you see our shocker pictures. So terrifying that it is easier to die than to live. Come if you must, but make your wills. Say your goodbyes, for soon you may be up in the skies. Doomsday is coming.
It is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this dinner will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from outer space. Starring the most nightmarish cast ever, Bela Lugosi, the seductive Vampira, and Tor Johnson as the Walking Dead.
Turn off your electrode gun! No! No! Stop him, Dennis!
I can't get it, it's jammed!
Stop him, you fool!
Bullets bounce off their bodies. Rockets, missiles, jets cannot stop their death ships. What earthly power can stop this terror? For a glimpse of things to come, see this blast of screen suspense. For it could be happening right now.
We now return to Dead Men Walk as the evil vampire Elwyn confronts his twin brother with a dark secret from his recent past.
love in the moonlight. The theme of so many poetic rhapsodies. Gail was an easy hypnotic subject, and I would have made her my disciple. And to save her from being initiated into the dark mysteries, the eminently respectable Dr. Clayton stooped to murder. Yes. Your life, a menace to all that is clean and decent, had no right to exist. But you failed. By the power of those I serve, my life is indestructible, eternally sustained by the life I take from others. I will take life from Gail, slowly. You will see her life ebb day by day and be powerless to save her. Man, old devil, I don't know what you are, but...
What happened?
Are you all right, Uncle Lloyd?
Yes, there's nothing to worry about, dear. I thought I saw a burglar, that's all.
Nearly frightened me to death.
I'm sorry I frightened you. It was nothing but a shadow. It's very late. Hadn't you better go to bed?
All right.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Uncle Lloyd. Good night, David.
It's a long time to wait, but I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, an ambitious young doctor shouldn't waste his valuable time picking up pretty speeches. Good night.
Good night. Forgive me, Dr. Clayton, if I seem to be impertinent. But have you told all the truth about that shooting?
No. I have reason to doubt my own sanity.
Why do you say that?
I saw my brother Elwyn here as plainly as I see you and talked to him. If it was no insane hallucination, it's too terrible to think about.
Oh, don't worry about it. You've been under a great strain lately, and you know what kind of tricks our nerves play on us sometimes.
Yes, that's my only hope.
If you'd let me take over most of the burden of your practice for a while, I'm sure you'd be all right in no time.
Thank you, David. Let them feed the flickering flame of your life with horrid vitality. The final outcome will be the same. In a short time now, they will call you dead. Then you will awaken and be as I am now. You will serve and obey me forever. morning, David.
Good morning, Dr. Clayton. How is Gail? Is she any better today?
I'm desperately worried about her. In spite of everything I can do, she grows steadily weaker.
Haven't you discovered the cause yet?
As you can see, she has all the symptoms of acute anemia, and I'm treating her for that. But I can't find a single case in medical history where it developed so quickly.
There must be something that can be done. Can't just let her die. Hello, dear.
Hello, darling. I'm sorry to cause you and Uncle Lloyd so much worry.
Now, don't you fret about it. We're going to have you up and about in just no time at all.
I know you will. Isn't it lovely out here in the sunshine? But it's so different at night. I have such awful nightmares. I dread falling asleep.
Why? What do you dream about?
I dream of a horrible bat-like creature hovering over me. I try to struggle, but I can't move a muscle. Then it seems to swoop down and suffocate me.
Where did you get those marks on your neck?
It's an insect bite, I guess. I was rather unsightly, so I've been wearing the scarf.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I just happened to discover the marks the other morning when I was looking in the mirror.
Are they painful?
No. In fact, there's no sensation in that particular spot at all.
There's more color in her face already.
How do you feel, darling?
Ever so much better.
I don't think we have any more to worry about.
What's the matter?
I was just clumsy, that was all. Now, my dear, the best thing for you is sleep. Good night, dear.
You're by far the nicest uncle anyone ever had.
Hurry and get well, darling. Remember, you've got a date for a wedding.
I won't forget.
All the cool things.
You want
all the cool things.
But where can you find
all the cool things?
It's all right here at Novemberfire.com. All the cool t-shirts, all the cool DVDs, all the cool masks. Be extra cool and tell them Lord Blood-Rah sent you.
All the cool things.
At Novemberfire.com.
From the depths of hell comes The Devil's Messenger, starring the Master of Mystery Lon Chaney and Karen Cannon.
You could leave my message. You'd have to go back. Up there.
I can't. I won't go back.
You'll deliver that to a Mr. Donald Powell. Don't be afraid of me.
The Devil's Messenger delivers gifts from hell, turning man into a ravaging beast.
I took a picture of that old farmhouse. There's nobody in the picture. You saw it. Was there anybody in it?
No, there wasn't.
Somebody has come out of that house, and they're coming toward me.
Back from the dead, his lovely victim seeks revenge for her horrible death at the hands of a man driven mad by a gift from hell. Trapped in her icy tomb until the Devil's Messenger exposed her nakedness in her crystal prison.
Now let's get down to here.
She becomes the object of a scientist's lust. His consuming desire for her drives him to commit murder to keep her for himself. Not since Eve received the apple have gifts inflicted such unnatural consequences.
Tonight at midnight, you will be dead.
Just how do you intend to kill me?
I have no idea. I don't even know you.
The crystal ball foreshadows doom, for it is the plaything of the devil, and only he can change the events it foresees. You must see what the devil's messenger has in store for you.
I'm Vincent Price, and you're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people. So won't you come and make it 8? You'll see human heads without bodies. Mysterious pools of blood dripping from the ceiling. The walls move slowly in against you. Don't try to escape, you can't. You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me in the house on Haunted Hill? Hurry, or you'll be late for your own funeral.
Dr. Clayton, is anything troubling you?
Yes. I saw a face outside Gale's window.
Well, that's absurd. Gale's window's on the second.
I know it sounds fantastic, but I'm convinced that Elvin is responsible in some way for some intangible menace threatening us all.
Well, that's impossible. Elwin's dead.
I know it's impossible according to all normal laws of nature, but can we be sure there are no supernatural laws beyond our understanding? We've been watching Gale grow steadily weaker and weaker, sinking every day. And medical science could offer no explanation.
Dr. Clayton, even though some things may be unknown to medical science, I'd hardly look to superstition for the explanation. Don't ask me to believe that Elwin's threatening Gale's life. The dead have no power over the living.
I don't know what I believe myself. One reads of so many things for which there seems to be no natural explanation. Will you come with me to the vault where Elwin is buried?
Why go there?
Because if there is such a thing as a vampire existence after death, the state of the body will show the proof and it can be destroyed.
Well, that's ridiculous. I'd feel like a fool, or worse. Prowling around dead bodies on such an errand.
Can you afford to be squeamish? My girl's life may be in danger.
All right, I'll go with you.
If what I fear's true, there's no time to lose. The coffin's been taken away.
Perhaps it's been stolen by medical students.
I'm afraid that's not the answer. Elwyn dedicated his entire life to the dark powers of evil. What unholy forces he set in motion.
Dr. Clayton, ignorant people believed that sort of thing in medieval times, but not anymore. I know there's a natural cause for every effect. And I don't believe Gail's life is being threatened by any supernatural power from beyond the grave.
Perhaps you're right, I don't know.
Dr. Clayton, I'd like to marry Gail immediately and take her away. I think a change of climate might be beneficial.
I don't know whether that would be advisable or not. I'll think it over.
I hate to come to you with it, Sheriff. I just can't wait any longer.
Well, what's the trouble?
Unless you do something right away, I'm afraid Gail's going to be murdered.
Well, who do you suspect of trying to murder her?
Dr. Clayton.
Oh, that's impossible. Why, Dr. Clayton's one of the finest men I ever knew.
That's what I used to believe. But I've been forced to change my opinion. He's either losing his mind or he's attempting to divert suspicion from himself with some fantastic story of supernatural vengeance from beyond the grave.
But why should he want to kill her?
She has considerable money, which he would inherit if she died unmarried.
Well, Dr. Clayton wouldn't want her money. He has plenty of his own. Besides, it's a very serious charge to make, merely on suspicion.
What if it is? I'm watching her die, and something's got to be done.
Well, there isn't a thing I can do unless you give me some definite proof of criminal intent.
After Gail is dead, you may be able to charge him with murder. That will be a great comfort to me.
Are you sleeping? No, just resting. I heard about what was happening to you, and I had to come here. I'm the only one who can save you.
I appreciate your interest, but Uncle Lord's doing everything possible.
I know you don't believe me. You think I'm crazy. Everyone does. But I know more about some things than you'll find in all the doctor books in this room. You wear that scarf to hide the marks on your throat. I know what made them. I know what steals the life from you at night. And I also know what'll save you. There's no use for me to talk to Dr. Clayton or no one else. They wouldn't believe me. The sheriff said he'd send me away if I made a nuisance of myself.
Don't worry about that.
I can help you if you'll let me. Here, wear this. Wear it around your neck always. Never take it off.
I naturally hold the cross in reverence. But how can wearing it be of any greater help?
Because they haven't the power to touch a sacred symbol.
They? Who do you mean?
Vampires. Creatures of the devil who are neither alive nor dead. During the day, they sleep in their graves in death-like sleep. But at night, they have the power to roam the earth. Oh, I didn't mean no harm, Dr. Clayton.
Don't be afraid. I know you didn't mean any harm. Excitement isn't good for our patient.
I didn't mean to get her excited. I was just anxious to help her, that's all.
I understand that, but I think you'd better go.
The vampire is your brother Elwyn. Take his body from the vault and destroy it with fire. That's the only way you can put an end to his evil power.
The body isn't there. Someone has removed it.
You must find where it is. Nothing can destroy his power at night, but his sorcery cannot protect him during the day. I'll do all I can to help you find him.
Do you believe what she said? Is that why I have those horrible nightmares?
I don't know, dear. It seems utterly impossible, and yet it's the only answer to an impossible condition. I'd been convinced of some malignant powers at work, but I didn't want to frighten you with that, and I couldn't even believe the evidence of my own eyes. Do as she said. Wear this, my dear. It's the symbol of a power that delivers from all evil, and we need divine help.
It worked. But we all knew it would work, right? I mean, we all know the rules of vampires. Out of the grave at dusk, back in at dawn, drinks blood, hates crosses, wooden stakes, blah, blah, blah. But there are many, many legends of vampires from all over the world that are very, very different from the ones we know. And many of them go all the way back to ancient times. Let's see here. For instance, in ancient Mesopotamia, there was the legend of Lamashtu. Now, Lamashtu was a female vampire depicted as having the head of a lion and the body of a donkey. I'm not making this up. I swear this is true. And in Madagascar, there is the Ramanga, an outlaw who drinks blood and eats the nail clippings of nobles. Ew. Ew. I mean, the blood drinking is one thing, but eating nail clippings? That's disgusting. We'll be right back. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows. The Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah.
This engine's still warm.
Say, did you see the skid marks out here? They go at a direct right angle to the direction of travel.
No digs in the macadam either. Somebody was hurt. There's blood all over this thing.
What is this black menace that kills everything it sees and hears? No human mind could imagine the enormous destructive power of this maddened, killing thing. If you're young people in love, look out. If you're driving a lonely road, you're as good as dead.
There's been a lot of livestock missing lately. That doesn't make headlines, but now it's people. Never in the history of the United States, a monster of such size and power and horrifying hatred of man.
Attempting to solve the distance of a beautiful girl, the East Side Kids invade a haunted mansion and come face to face with sinister Bela Lugosi. The kids take the first round, but that's only the beginning of this terrifying night.
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding sea. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy and free.
What do you make of this? Where does the other end go? It dumps into the ocean.
It looks exactly like the South American Fantigua fish. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff.
I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death. The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr.
You got a monster in the surf. Yeah, yeah.
Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach. If you see this ghoul, play it cool. Beauties in bikinis, laughing, singing, surfing, sinning. Beach party lovers making hey hey in the moonlight while the monster waits and watches. Yeah. This one will kill you.
I can't stand this any longer. We've got to have a showdown. I think you're killing Gail.
How can I be doing that?
I don't know what devilish means you're using. But if she dies, I'll kill you.
I've done everything in my power to save her.
Don't expect me to believe that. Anyone with the slightest medical knowledge can see that she's not suffering from any normal disease. Her vitality is being systematically destroyed.
That's true. I don't know how I can make you believe what my own common sense calls impossible. Her life is threatened by some abnormal creature that has no right to exist.
That abnormal creature is human, not a ghost returning from the grave. If I could possibly do so, I'd take her away from here. But the law protects you. All I can do is hold you responsible for her life. If she dies, so will you.
I don't blame you for suspecting me. I don't blame you for thinking possibly that I'm a homicidal maniac. But the truth is even more unbelievable. I honestly believe that she's better off here than if you took her away. But why don't you stay and watch over her? I'd be glad to have your help.
I'm sorry if I've done you an injustice. But I've been so worried about Gail, I've nearly lost my mind.
I understand, and I sympathize with you with all my heart. Let's go up and see how she is.
How do you feel there?
A little better. And I wasn't troubled with any nightmares.
Good. Go back to sleep. I'm going to sit here beside you for a while.
It'll be nice to know that you're near me, even when I'm asleep.
I believe you won't be troubled with any more nightmares. Good night, dear.
Good night, Uncle Lloyd.
When they're all asleep, break into the house and get the chain from around her neck, Zola. You can do it, I can't. I will do as you say, Master.
What do you want with me? I didn't do anything.
Quiet or I'll break your neck. What do you know about this?
That's Elvin's servant. What's he doing here?
It looked as if he were trying to strangle Gail.
I wasn't going to hurt her.
What were you doing in the room?
Elvin sent him for some purpose. You're the one who removed Elvin's body from the vault. Where did you hide it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Elvin is dead. What's
He's
all...
neither dead nor alive. He's a vampire. And Gail will never be out of danger until his body is in ashes.
What is this talk about vampire?
I know you don't believe him, but I can't let that stand in my way now. I'll hesitate at nothing to make you talk. Where does he lie hidden during the day?
You'll never know.
No, you don't. I want to know what you're doing in this house. There he goes.
What chance have you against me? I have powers at my command far beyond your wildest dream. Your life is forfeit any time I care to take it.
It's not possible.
It is possible. Now you know what we're up against.
What can we do against a creature like that?
Despite what he said, he can be destroyed. In the meantime, you guard Gail. Don't leave her alone for a minute.
Yes.
You failed.
I couldn't help it. He woke up. I'll try again.
That opportunity's gone. I'll be on their guard now.
You must try something else.
evening, Sheriff.
Good evening, Doctor. Young Bentley made some wild talk before church this morning.
Yes, he was half out of his mind with worry. He came here to accuse me of trying to murder Gale.
Yes, that was it.
But you don't believe that?
No, but others heard, and gossip has gone all around. And considerable feeling has been stirred up, and there's no telling what some irresponsible hothead might do.
I'm sorry to have people feel that way about me, but I don't see what I can do about it.
Well, I suggest that you go away for a while. They'll soon cool down and come to their senses.
But I can't leave. I have work here that must be done.
That is just fascinating. I never knew this. Oh, my lords and ladies, did you know that in ancient Slavic myths, they believed you could thwart a vampire's attack by running uphill backwards, carrying a lit candle and a turtle? Again, I'm not making this up. It doesn't say whether or not the turtle has to be lit, but, oh well, you figure it out. And Malaysian myths speak of the Penanggalan, I think that's the way you pronounce it, a woman whose head detaches at night and flies about with her entrails and spine dangling from her neck, seeking blood. These are all real myths and legends, my lords and ladies. You should look them up. They're fascinating. Because, after all, there are such things.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
Into a world not yet known, in spaceships of the future, these men of courage and daring set out to conquer the universe beyond the known world, facing unbelievable dangers on every side.
We're being pulled into the sun.
Meeting new adventures in undreamed of places.
Mars.
Lost and trapped in space, with no hope of return.
We've consumed too much of the fuel.
They have not yet faced the ultimate horror the planet Astar has to offer.
Look there.
graveyard late at night and seen a coffin open?
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated?
Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them.
See all this and more when you see on stage, in person,
that crazy mixed up Dr. Evil and his terrors of the unknown.
Unlike anything that you ever seen or heard of in the past.
Hideous creatures from beyond the grave. Leave the stage and grab girls right out of their seats.
Girls, do not come alone. Bring your boyfriend to protect you when the lights go out.
You may find a live snake or rat under your seat.
A real dead body is given away to some lucky person at every performance.
Also, in person.
The Mummy and King Kong, famous Hollywood gorilla, real and alive.
Plus, on the screen, 2 horrific motion pictures.
Dr. Evil and his terrors of the unknown.
Plus 2 horrific pictures.
You will freeze as you watch a warped scientist become transformed into a godless beast when his bloody scalpel probes the forbidden secrets of a woman's flesh. In Atom Age Vampire, you will flame to the stark ritual of a beautiful girl's last searing dance as tragedy forever mars her loveliness, leaving her to face a world of terror.
I give you my word that I will restore your face, restore all your beauty.
You will cringe as the demented doctor experiments with a girl's trusting innocence. But to possess the living miracle wrought by his twisted genius, he must forever sacrifice his soul to the cunning gods of evil.
I'll transplant directly from another human being.
A mad creature born of the atomic age, now shackled to a world of rotting bodies and violent death. A sadist, a criminal, a depraved animal, more ferocious than Jekyll, more monstrous than Frankenstein, more bloody than Dracula.
Fire a volley through the window pane.
You will gasp as lust and madness stalk the dark and screaming night in Atom Age Vampire.
So this is where you lie hidden during the day. The color in your face proving you are a vampire. And not one of the honest dead who rest in peace. Dr. Clayton will believe me when he sees you. And fire will destroy your evil power.
know Doc Clayton ain't one of them crazy jiggling high fellas that puts on a pious head during the daytime and goes around at night committing murder.
You're right.
Sir. When people are dying and no one knows the reason why, it looks like murder to me, and we better do something about it.
We will. I don't like that kind of talk, Wilkins.
Maybe we don't like the way you're not doing anything.
I'm doing everything possible. There's not the slightest proof of murder against anyone. And I'll throw you in jail for inciting mob violence if you don't keep quiet.
Hey, Sheriff! Hey! Old Kate's been murdered.
Murdered? Well, where did this happen?
In that old abandoned cemetery. I heard her scream, but by the time I got there, she's dead. Her neck was broken.
Did you see anyone?
No, and I didn't hang around looking for anyone. I ain't lost no crazy murderers.
Old Kate never harmed a soul in her life. Her death is proof enough that there's a crazy killer roaming around here.
And finding him is my business. I'll not stand for any mob taking matters in their own hands. That's final. Take me to where the body is.
Yes. We better do something pretty quick. Old Kate found you and I had to kill her. I knew they'd search the cemetery, so I brought you here.
You will be well rewarded for your faithful service of love. Make a secret crypt for me here where I can remain undisturbed.
Everything will be as you say.
Almighty Lord of the Abyss, your servant vows in eternal obedience to your will. Time has come when I must destroy all those who stand in our way. Finding this place cost Kate her life and did no good. If I'd only known in time that he was here.
saw him as plain as I see you, and he glared at me like a devil. You get on the phone and rouse some of the folks. We stop this right now. Dr. Clayton.
But you should be guarding Gail.
No, she's all right. I look in every few minutes. Did you find the hiding place?
Yes, but I was too late. The coffin had been removed. I don't know why I didn't think to search the old cemetery before Kate sacrificed her life.
We stood around long enough waiting for the sheriff to do something.
You know, being a vampire's mad servant must be a really hard job. Running the errands that the vampire can't do during the day, and then guarding the secret hiding place of your master's coffin, chasing away and killing those who find it, then moving the master's coffin all by yourself to a new hiding place, unpacking your master. Well, I guess, your master unpacks himself. But still, that's a lot of work. And they don't get paid for it. Just the promise of eternal life. And that never works out well. Well, we'll see how well things work out for Zolar and his evil Master Elwyn. Stop it! When we return for the conclusion of Dead Men Walk after this. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows. The Nerve-Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah.
Take it easy, Dracula. What do you think I'm carrying here, my dirty laundry?
Where a man-eating, talking plant gives homicide something to think about.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
Whatever.
Ever see this man?
Man, see picture.
Why are you so nervous? Oh, boy, you kiss good, Audrey.
Oh, I guess I just have a good kisser.
Now you will do as I say.
Yes, master.
You will go out and find me some food.
Yes, master.
What's the matter? Don't you like me?
Too bony.
Too bony? Nobody ever told me that before.
Beef is better than veal.
Ah, you're such a dodo. What do you call this? Chopped liver?
Gail's all right. She's sleeping like a baby. What's our next move?
I don't know. We must find that coffin. I don't know where to search.
Why don't we just try and think of all the logical places?
Elwyn's house. Might have been taken there. That's worth trying.
Dr. Clayton, you stay here with Gail. Let me go.
No. I told you before, I feel that I must be the one to destroy him. We were brothers, and there was a bond of hatred between us that lasted a lifetime. If I fail, then you must be the one to take up the fight. For Gail's sake and for the sake of mankind.
Some of your men surround the house. The rest come with me.
Where's Doc Clayton?
He's not here.
Where is he?
What do you want with him?
We're going to stop him from committing any more crazy murders.
Dr. Clayton is innocent.
Well, you said yourself he was trying to murder Gail.
I was wrong. Please believe me, terribly wrong.
No, you weren't. You were right. I saw the proof tonight with my own eyes, and I caught him red-handed.
That couldn't have been Dr. Clayton. It was his brother Elwyn.
Have you gone crazy? Elwyn Clayton is dead. Everyone knows that.
You don't understand.
I don't understand why you're trying to protect him. All right, men, go ahead and search the house. Come on, you.
Wilkins, you stupid fool.
Here, you.
Go ahead with the search, man.
Operator. No, you don't.
Please believe me, you're making a terrible mistake. I'm telling you the truth when I say that Elwyn's responsible for those murders.
I'm beginning to believe that you're just as crazy and dangerous as Doc Clayton.
Never leave here alive.
Well, wait here. He's got to come back sometime. Would you look at this? A book on witchcraft and vampires. No one in his right mind would read this sort of trash. It'll soon be daylight.
I suppose he just went out for an evening stroll, huh?
You wouldn't understand.
I understand about murder, and I know what to do about it.
Master! Master!
You don't wait for death. You come to meet him. Carry this thought with you to your death. Kay will become a vampire, a slave to my will forever.
You're weakening, aren't you? Your time has almost come. Dawn, you'll be as helpless as one truly did. Even if it costs me my life. Look. Good heavens! There's two of them!
Greater love hath no man than that he lay down his life for his friend. We all mourn the passing of a friend, but rejoice in the knowledge that he has entered into the eternal life, where there is no pain nor sorrow.
Yeah, okay, so Dr. Clayton did sacrifice his own life to destroy his evil brother, but what about Zolar? I mean, I said his job was a tough one, but leaving him there to be slowly crushed to death under a column in a burning room? I guess vampires have no loyalty to their insane servants. Mad vampire servants should strike. They should strike for better pay and sick time, holidays off, a little respect, eternal life guaranteed. Oh, no, but you don't hear any of the candidates talking about that, do you? No, of course not. And you know why? Because today it's all about... I've gone down a very strange road here. We'll be right back.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
Dr. Satan and his Shrieks in the Night. If you think you've seen horror shows before, we warn you, this new kind of show is completely unlike anything you have ever seen. The action takes place in the audience. You'll be surrounded by the most hideous horde of horror creatures ever to walk on the earth. You'll see, back from their graves, fiendish vampires who drink human blood, living corpses, werewolves, ghost women, 1001 nightmarish creatures. Girls, do you have the nerve to meet the Invisible Man? He puts his arms around you. You can't see him, but you feel his presence. What a new thrill. Dr. Satan hypnotizes everyone in the audience, including you. You'll see the slave maidens at the mercy of hideous beasts, human sacrifices, death on the slab. So scary, your blood will run cold. Dr. Satan has appeared in person with and startled George Goebel, Donald O'Connor, Orson Welles, Jack Bailey, Art Baker, and many others. Ed Johnson of the New York News wrote, "At long last, I have seen a horror show even scarier than advertised. A horror show strictly in a class by itself. If it's thrills you want, thrills you'll get when you see Dr. Satan's Shrieks in the Night. It's brand new. It's brand new. Positively has never been shown at this theater before. Don't miss Dr. Satan's Shrieks in the Night."
And now, my lords and ladies, being that Dead Men Walk was such a short little shocker, it is now cartoon time. And our first one is a classic. The great Ub Iwerks was one of Walt Disney's top animators. In fact, he co-created Mickey Mouse with Walt Disney. In 1929, he drew the classic Disney cartoon, The Skeleton Dance. Years later, when he left Disney and went over to Columbia Pictures, he remade The Skeleton Dance as The Skeleton's Frolic. Now, my lords and ladies, without further ado, I give to you, from 1937, The Skeleton's Frolic. Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is: in the classic Universal horror film Son of Frankenstein, one of the most memorable characters is the wooden-armed, stiff-necked police inspector, played by Lionel Atwill. That same character was later spoofed by the great Kenneth Mars in the Mel Brooks classic Young Frankenstein as Inspector Kemp. But what was the name of that character in Son of Frankenstein? A. Lieutenant Carlsberg. B. Inspector Sauer. C. Colonel Falkstein. Or D. Inspector Krogh. Do you know the answer, my lords and ladies? Ponder that while we present these ponderous commercials. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows: The Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question: what was the name of the wooden-armed police inspector in Son of Frankenstein? It was D. Inspector Krogh. Yes, my lords and ladies, Inspector Krogh, the small village police inspector who, as a young boy, had his arm ripped out by the roots by the Frankenstein monster. But now, my lords and ladies, a young wedded couple check into a sinister-looking hotel run by a rather devious character. That would be a great beginning for any mystery or horror film, but in this case, the young couple are flies, and the owner of the hotel is a spider. My lords and ladies, from 1936, here is The Cobweb Hotel.
You find that the service is swell. Now you needn't be shy. I won't harm a fly. Spend the night at the Cobweb Hotel. Come into my parlor, please do. In In a while, all your cares will be through. There'll be no rent to pay, 'cause you'll be here to stay. Spend the night at the Cobweb Hotel. The register. You'll be very pleased. Newlyweds. Thank you. Now make yourselves at home while I prepare your room. I'll be right back. Come into my parlor, please do. Here is your sweet.
you'll notice, my lords and ladies, that the tough flyweight champion was rescued by his wife. In fact, his wife freed herself, freed all of the flies that were being held in the Cobweb Hotel, and then rescued him, striking an early blow for insect gender equality. Well, my lords and ladies, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to invite you all back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.